Fox and the Republican Party are having some issues. This Trump, Shady Vance meltdown sure is a sight to behold, and Fox is in total disarray, and that was being mirrored with all these technical issues as well. Here, I think Laura Ingraham was trying to call up a clip. Not really sure what she was doing, but take a look at this.
We're not afraid of weird people.
Really? That's it? That's what it's come to from a party that promotes this? And I guess this is not weird for the Biden-Harris administration.
Then earlier in the day, you had Brian Kilmeade on Fox, and Kilmeade talked about how, look, weird's good, weird's relatable, weird's a good thing that the Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are being called weird. Here, play this clip.
Well, I think outside Jesse, most of us are weird. Outside Jesse, most of us have a little bit of thing that's a little non-traditional. And I think by calling people weird, that'll make them more relatable.
And then they randomly play a montage of all the times Republicans are being called weird by the pro-democracy leaders. Here, watch this.
Well, it's just plain weird. I mean, that's the box you put that in, right?
It's not just a weird style that he brings. It's that this leads to weird policies.
That is weird behavior.
More extreme, more weird, more erratic.
I mean, on the other side, they're just weird.
The 32 ounces of weird.
Donald Trump and his weirdo running mate.
And by the way, they are weird.
It is bizarre. It's weird. It is weird.
J.D. Vance, just dumb Vance, is pretty weird.
Jesse Waters wants a word. Here's what he has to say.
So how do they distract us from talking about our record? They're accusing J.D. Vance of having sex with a couch. Not on a couch, with a couch. It's a weird thing to do. And now they're calling him weird.
And Jesse Waters isn't done there. More from Jesse Waters. Play the clip.
And after Russia, COVID, and the Biden cover-up, America's seasoned vets by now. We don't buy the hoaxes and believe the hype anymore. Our eyes are wide open. And if you're going to accuse someone of having sex with a couch, you better have video.
Then Neil Cavuto had on MAGA Republican Senator John Kennedy, not actually in the Kennedy family, but John Kennedy. He does a fake accent also. It's actually not the way he talks, which is also very weird. And he kind of does this little shtick with his voice. And like people have heard him talk not with that accent. So this is like a whole routine. Again, very, very weird. Here he is name calling and calling Vice President Kamala Harris a ding dong. Here, play this clip.
May not be fair, but I'm just telling you what the polls show. Many Americans think that the vice president is a little bit of a ding dong, that she's not serious.
Well, this ding dong, Senator, has risen in the polls.
And then Neil Cavuto is like, and this is a Fox host, you know, with a surrogate of Donald Trump. Like, you really think this name calling makes a ton of sense? Here, play this clip.
I'm just wondering, do you worry how that comes across? And maybe you draw no distinction between a female candidate and a male one, and that's fair game, but that this could hurt you with female voters with these type of comments.
Well, let me say it again.
Sure.
The vice president is a candidate for president of the United States. I don't care about her gender, Neil. Maybe you do, but I don't. I don't care about her race. I care about her
Then
competence.
why call her a ding-dong?
And I'm telling you what the polling shows. I'm telling you what the polling shows. And it does. And I'll be glad to sit down with you and walk you through the polls.
Please do, because I never know when it's constructed to call people names, you know, Senator. I just, on the left or the right. But
I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but let me say it again.
Senator, you keep bringing it back to my feelings. My feelings matter a little. All I'm telling you is if you think you can gain this November calling people names, I don't know how far that goes, left or right, but we'll see. It's still early, to your point.
Your feelings seem to me like they matter to you a lot, Neil, and I'm trying to be objective here. Let me say it again.
Are you really being objective, Senator? I just think you've got a bash-a-thon, a name calling at her. If you call that being objective, I don't know. But Senator, I do want to thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me, Neil. I hope you have a better day.
Yeah, so do I. Hope you have a better day. We'll have more after this.
And by the way, that reminded me of when Donald Trump's spokesperson, Caroline Leavitt, was on Fox, and she was asked by the host, like, you think calling Gavin Newsom new scum, like you think this is a good strategy? Remember when that happened? Here, play that clip.
Okay, Karen, I've got a complaint. I know the campaign wants to win over Nikki Haley's voters, but I don't think you do that with name calling. For example, I take issue with Trump's new nickname for California governor, calling him new scum. I don't think that's a good idea. I object to that kind of language. How about you?
Well, I think that what Governor Gavin Newsom has done to the once great state of California is terrible. You see real scum, real homeless people all over the streets.
Excuse me, are you okay? Are you saying it's okay to bring that kind of language to a presidential campaign? New scum? That's okay?
I think the real problem here, Stu, is the policies of the deranged Democrats from Gavin Newsom to Joe Biden
I think your
that have
campaign
destroyed
has
American
a problem with
communities
language
across
like
this
that.
country.
You don't agree with me, but I think your campaign has a problem with language like that.
Well, I don't think voters respectfully agree with you either, Stu. If you look at the resounding wins that President Trump has received across the board.
You think you're going to win over Haley voters with language like that, do you? You win over moderates and women with language like that? Really?
Then as Laura Ingraham is showing her pre-recorded interview with Donald Trump, because of course nothing's live, they pre-recorded all with Trump because of all the weird and deranged and unhinged things he says. They like cut him off because he's saying some really strange stuff and cut to a commercial break. Here, watch this.
It's good, bad, or indifferent. They weren't dying. They're coming here because you look at guys like Gavin Newsom, where he says openly, come here, come to us, we're going to take you in.
Coming up, will there actually be a Trump-Harris debate? His answer next.
Even Laura Ingraham then has to ask Donald Trump, though, why he's afraid to debate Vice President Kamala Harris. Here, play this clip.
I want to do a debate, but I also can say this. Everybody knows who I am, and now people know who she is. She's a radical left lunatic. She'll destroy our country. She wants open borders.
And why not debate her?
Well, wait. But because they already know everything.
And Donald Trump thinks it's a good strategy to talk about Vice President Kamala Harris's age and then round up her age to 60. Here, play this clip.
Years old. A lot of people, I didn't realize she was 60. I thought she was a little younger. But she's 60. She is talking a big game, but her game is pretty bad. I mean, she was the border czar. She's trying to pretend that she wasn't. You know, it's an amazing thing that's happened, too, because we talk about...
Then you have the five, where Jessica Tarlov in the pro-democracy community. She's a superstar loaded with facts. And here Jessica Tarlov talks about all the weird things Trump's been doing and talking about sharks and electrocution and just strange stuff. Here, play this clip.
Jesse's point that people don't think that Donald Trump is weird. You listen to these rallies where he's talking about sharks getting electrocuted. No, you can say that. If you are not a diehard Trump supporter, the late great Hannibal Lecter doesn't resonate in the same way. The sharks, the weird stuff about batteries, like, Donald Trump is not a normal human, and I guess
Jessica Tarlov talks about the massive shift in the polls where it's either even or Vice President Kamala Harris is pulling ahead. Let's play this one.
I want to talk about is that
that's weird.
Whatever the strategy is now, it is working. So Kamala Harris is now running either tied or ahead in national polling. Same in the swing states. Her favorability not just up 8 points, it's up 12 points. While Donald Trump has gone down 5.
She's the next
Don't
Obama.
do it.
She's going to win.
And J.D. Vance has gone down 8 points.
So nervous.
Democratic enthusiasm is up 26 points.
She's only doing one thing. She's reading speeches.
Why are you saying, oh my God?
Because I'm like, we have to tease.
She's going to win. Oh my God.
Yeah, because we have to tease.
Kamala Harris, the next Barack Obama. It's a cultural phenomenon. How do we stop her, Brian?
All right.
And on the other hand, while that's happening, you have Governor of Minnesota, Governor Tim Walz, a one-on-one interview with Jen Psaki. Here's him talking about his observations of how weird this Republican Party has become. Play the clip.
Well, look, you're seeing that, and this observation of weird came from people I know, my friends, my relatives, Republicans. Some of them that
this is just awkward. They're awkward, and it stems from who's asking for this crazy stuff? Who's asking to raise the price of insulin? Who's asking to get rid of birth control? They do these focus groups or whatever. Who's sitting in a bar in Racine, Wisconsin saying, we need to ban Animal Farm? Nobody is. They're talking about real things. So when these guys get in situations in front of real people and trying to pretend like they know what people are going through, they've got nothing to offer. And no one can picture them in their own lives. I brought this thing up that Donald Trump tries to mock Vice President Harris for laughing. And I made the point, you never see this guy laugh. You never see him do these normal things. Imagine when I go home at night, I pick up the Frisbee and throw it, and my dog catches it, he comes over, he gets the belly rub for being a good boy. Picture these guys doing that kind of stuff. They just can't. And what it allows us to do is, we hear where you're coming from. And I made the pitch that I watched that rally in St. Cloud, Minnesota, where he lied about the election and lied about everything. But the thing that I thought was so joyful is, Kamala Harris is going to be there to provide reproductive health care to those women who were standing behind him.
Here's Governor Walz again. Play the clip.
They got nothing. What are they going to pivot? What are they going to tell us about? I'm a Legion guy. They're not talking in the Legion clubs about banning books and things. They're wondering why this Project 25 cuts VA benefits. Why would they do that? Why is Donald Trump for doing that? And you never hear him talk about it. So this is a golden opportunity. Yes, they're weird. They prove that every day. It's an observation. You can't.
And we at the MeidasTouch Network prepared a video called Weird GOP, where we put all these clips of what's been going on Fox to show you just how weird this has been. So for those who are just watching now, this is what Fox has been doing every day now. Here, play this clip.
The problem is they are a weird political party.
M&Ms will not be satisfied until every last cartoon character is deeply unappealing, until the moment you wouldn't want to have a drink with any one of them.
These 26 QAnon people.
Q is a patriot.
QAnon believers lined up on the grassy knoll. It's the site of the JFK assassination. They believed that the president's late son, JFK Jr., would miraculously appear and that he would help Donald Trump take back power.
I want to talk about the real pandemic, child sex trafficking. By putting masks on these kids' face, you guys support sex trafficking.
Have you been a good little Nazi? It's not necessarily the extreme. I mean, these are people that talk about testicle tanning.
Testicle tanning.
It's testicle tanning.
Half the viewers right now are like, what? That's testicle tanning? That's crazy. But my view is, okay, testosterone levels crash and nobody says anything about it. That's crazy.
By and large, a large part of the Republican Party is just out and out weird.
Then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, well, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy.
You got a lot of really crazy people.
The frontrunners of the Ohio Republican Senate race got into a heated fight.
When do we invade Australia and free an oppressed people?
In Florida, the state education department rejected more than 50 math textbooks for promoting critical race theory.
The Democrats are the party of princess predators from Disney.
Disney stepping in saying, in every episode now they're going to have Mickey and Pluto going at it. Like... Really?
No more Disney World! DeSantis land!
The antidote that we've seen now is urine therapy.
Satan's controlling the church.
Calling gingerbread men a gingerbread person when obviously they're men.
Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head.
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
Wind. They say the noise causes cancer.
So absolutely normal. Yep.
They're really like odd ducks.
So there you have it. We'll keep you posted every step of the way. It's free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. So hit subscribe, help us get to 3 million subscribers. And if you want to also support the growth of this network, go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch, and check it out.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.